Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome everybody to the April 29th Board of Commissioner meeting. Mary, roll call please.
Groves.
Present.
Odd.
Yes.
Burgess.
Present.
Bowman.
Present.
And Obermeyer.
Here. Open meetings law is posted on the south side of our chambers and the hallway outside of our chambers. It is also located on our website. Proof of publication is in the News Times the 24th and also on our website. Review and approve the minutes of our April 15th Board of Commissioner meeting.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Joe.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call please.
Burgess.
Yes.
Groves.
Yes.
Odd.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Adopt today's agenda.
Move to adopt.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call please.
Bowman.
Yes.
Odd.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Groves.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, right on to officials forum today.
Good morning.
Morning, Art.
Harvey Kine, York County Highway Superintendent. Don't have much to report other than we're blading roads, still trying to get the pavements cracked sealed, hauling a little gravel and rock out on the roads, and that's kind of the whole ball of wax right there. Sometime in the middle of May, we're gonna have to do a repair on a bridge on Road 12. East abutment needs some attention, so that'll be closed for a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how quick the concrete cures out on it, and that'll put that bridge back up in good condition. So that's kind of all I have at this point in time.
Haven't heard anything about the interstate bridge. Was it on X? Where was it over there? Is it still?
W.
W,
They are
okay.
working on it.
Okay, they're working on it.
As far as I know, they have not told me it was open, but yes, I see they were working on
Okay,
it. So,
I guess we haven't heard as much about that one as we did about M.
well, they didn't have to go to the same extent. It sounded like they was going to grout the crack instead of having to replace the beam. Now, that's what I had heard. I have not been out there with boots on the bridge to see what goes on for sure.
Okay,
So, but that's the way they was talking. So,
any questions for Harv today, gentlemen? Have a great day, Harvey.
you bet.
Well, I know you're not going anywhere
Oh, no.
with anticipation.
Exactly.
Nate?
Morning.
Ethan Hines, County Zoning Administrator, just an update for you guys, having a zoning meeting tomorrow night here at 5:30 in this room. Two things, we'll have the comprehensive plan update from Marvin Planning, they'll be there to give updates. Other thing is, we'll be hearing conditional use permits for, I believe, 3 applications from Justin Crispin, Double Barrel Farms, the game birds. There'll be a recommendation from the zoning board, who then will bring it before you guys for final approval, conditions, whatnot. But after tomorrow, probably either the next meeting or meeting after that, we'll have it up in front of you guys for a final vote. Okay?
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks.
Morning, Gary.
Good morning, gentlemen. Morning, Mayor. Just a little update from last week, which was quite the swirl, but such is life. And so it was actually pretty educational for me. The diversion program is up and going. It is still alive. I was able to confirm through a phone call with Tara Kunkel, who is the director of Rulo Strategies in Virginia, that it was only the TA, the technical assistant portion of that particular grant, that was terminated, as opposed to the entire grant being terminated. She confirmed my rereading of the email that I received, that the logical conclusion is that the entire project was terminated, but that was not the case. And she also reiterated that with her communication with the United States Attorney General's office, is that her opinion is that this this particular grant and the 2 grants that we received with our juvenile program are safe. And so that was good news. And I was able to confirm just a few minutes ago that the entire team that we had hired prior to this, that is on board and is fully ready to go. So I wanted to communicate that good news to the board. Thank you. Any questions?
Thanks, Sherry.
Thanks.
Seeing as how there's no more officials in the room, we're going to go ahead and move on to the public comment section of our agenda today. At this point in time, the public may come forward and give some brief comments to the board if they wish. Morning, Jim.
Good morning. Jim Jackson, 907 Road 2, Fairmont, Hayes Township. I've come this morning, we've been coming to the commissioners meeting since 21. 22, we went to see that, I'm not gonna argue about the solar panel deal, but I'd like to tell you a little about our portion of Hayes Township. I fear that many here didn't know anybody from Hayes Township. I'd like to give you a little overrun. Coming to these meetings, one of the, outside of money, is inheritance tax or whatever. You gotta have money. The next most talked about subject a lot of times is housing. Okay, in the proposed zoning, in a proposed area of the solar panels, there are upwards of a dozen homes that are going to be impacted by the building of this. Most of those homes, I'll agree that there are fewer homes than they were when I moved when I was born and where I live all of my life. But a percentage of them now that are childbearing age is probably as high as it's ever been. Now, of all the hoopla about how wonderful the situation is with solar panels, they haven't included any of those people that are going to be affected. Some of them are going to have solar panels on 3 sides of their farms or their homestead, and a lot of them on 2 for sure. And most of us live out there because it's wide open spaces. That's where we want to live, and we're in the country, and that's the way we want to keep it. But another thing I'd like to point out is the pro side. They always have at least 2 people here, and who knows how many others come and lobby, and they spend a lot of money advertising and telling us how good they are, when it's going to benefit it all. But they've totally ignored all those people. And most of those people are young. Both of them have jobs. The kids got to go to school. They got to go to daycare. So how many of them can come here and state their piece? And anyway, I think you owe them at least, you should admit that they live there and they're human beings and they need to be informed. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Anybody else from the public this morning? Morning.
Good morning. Joanne Jackson, 907 Road 2, Fairmont, York County. There's a project that is in Franklin Township, Ohio, that is 2,464 acres, which is 536 acres less than what is being discussed with K Junction. It would cover, the panels would cover 856 football fields worth of farmland just by the panels, twice that, 1,712 football fields needed for the total project. The fencing would be 39.3 miles. There'd be 3,228,430 feet of underground collection cables to connect the panels and go to the substation buried 18 inches deep. There'd be 42,800 panel support I-beams. They'll be driven in using a pile driver with hydraulically operated hammer. They will be driven 6 to 11 feet deep and take up to 43 minutes to drive each one. The interior access roads would be 37.3 miles using over 77,282 tons of gravel. The roads will be 6 inches deep and 16 feet wide, so approximately 3,000 dump trucks of topsoil out and gravel in. Just some facts, I don't know if that's the same as we're getting in York if it comes through, but it's something to think about. This isn't just about harvesting the sun, it's also about harvesting tax credits. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Morning, Jim.
Morning. Jim Clutie, 1202 Road I. What's the railroad saying about the crossings? I'm looking right there.
I know it, Jim. We've talked
Yeah,
about.
I'm looking right there.
I know where you're looking, Jim.
Okay.
We've talked about the question and answer thing. Okay? So if you want to talk, we can talk after the meeting, but we're going to involve Harv. Okay?
So nothing's been done.
Can we talk after the meeting and involve Harv? Thanks, Jim. Okay, anybody else from the public? Seeing nobody else get up, we will continue down the agenda. Today, there is no time, or there is no need for an executive session. Discuss and act on general assistance cases. There is none. Review and approve the payroll and vendor claims that are in front of us. Anybody have any questions? See anything other than the norm?
Move to approve payroll and vendor claims.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion?
Yeah, the third meeting usually is a lighter,
Okay.
it's an easier one to swallow.
Well, there's a couple things in there, but
There are a few,
Yeah.
yeah.
any other discussion? Mary, roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Odd,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, no need for a funding transfer today. We are continually to monitor as we wind down this budget year to make sure that things end up smoothly. Next up, we discuss and act on mowing Zion and Cashler Union Cemetery. For those that are new, this is something we do annually. We have two cemeteries within our county that have been abandoned that we are allowed by state statute to spend X amount of dollars to have somebody mow them. The people that have been mowing them have been the same ones now for a few years. The Johnson family, it's kind of switched, but this one is Austin. He will be mowing the Zion, which is in Arborville, up in the northwest corner of our county. And we are allowed to spend right up to $1,000. He is asked to raise the total cost of service from $800 to $900 this year for mowing. They are required to mow it twice a year. I know individually these mow it much more than twice a year. If you just let it go all summer long, it'd be a nightmare. And then, help me, Mary, Higginbotham? Higginbotham, Jen.
Jennifer.
She has, would like to continue to mow the cache. And that is on the interstate, as everybody gets to see on the north side of the interstate, tucked right in the corner, there just inside of our county. And she would like to get 350 for the 2 times a year, 700. Now, she also asked in here, would like to have 250 for repairs. Not sure what these repairs would be and what she's qualified to repair, if it's the headstones or the fence around it or what. So I would say there needs to be some clarification on what that is, but the mowing part is absolutely something that I think is a good idea to stick with. So we could probably get some clarification on the repairs and then address that at another meeting.
I think so.
You know, and currently just go ahead and take up the mowing.
Yeah,
Personal opinion is if we're gonna spend X amount on one, we probably should spend the same on both. I don't know. You know, I mean, I think they both do a good job from us. The interstate one is way more visible, and we can see if it's getting done for sure. The other one, you actually gotta walk in a half mile off the county road to go see it, but that's just personal opinion.
They
We
similar
can do.
size? Be similar size?
Yeah. Yep.
I think it'd be to me, it'd be all right to authorize the 250 for repairs, just put in stipulation that it's got to accompany receipts and documentation of what's being repaired.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's probably gate hinges, things of that nature, fence, holes in the fence, whatever. Just let them take care of it. I think I know the Johnson family takes a lot of pride in what they do, and I'm assuming this lady's probably very similar, and if they're willing to take their time and take care of it, I think we let them.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's an abandoned cemetery, you know, maybe there's not that much that, I mean, if she, you know, if it's a stone that's fell over and needs a little epoxy grout or something to hold it back up, maybe it's not anything that has to be this certified fixed. I don't know. I mean, I'm fine waiting too if we think we need to get any more clarification. I don't know, Gary, off the top of your head, do you have is there any legal stuff as far as what they can fix and what they couldn't or anything like that?
There would not be anything to compromise what Andy is suggesting.
Sure.
I think as long as she has a receipt for how it's being spent, that would be appropriate.
Right. I mean, so then if we were to go ahead and approve her to make repairs, we know that we can spend up to $1,000. And so if we were to, say mowing of, to your point of keeping them similar, if we up the one to 9 and this one to 9, then we wouldn't be able to do 250 for repairs. And so that's just something to keep in mind if we do that.
Right. Unless, if the 900 would be sufficient for her.
Right. Right.
In her wordage, it's, would like to have 250 flex, is what she says, if need for repairs,
So maybe we authorize mowing of the cemeteries for $900 for this year, and then if she runs into excess repairs, that she would have to come to us for anything more.
Yeah. Sound all right?
I would make a motion that we approve mowing of these two cemeteries at $900 per cemetery for the 2025 year. Any repairs would need to be authorized by the board.
I'll second that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion?
That's good.
Roll call, please, Mary.
Groves,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. And if you want me to visit with her, if you can reach out to her, either one of
I'll
us
reach out to her.
can take care of that. You bet. Okay, next up is discuss an act on draw for the CDBG in the amount of $223,929.79 for the Four Corners Health Deposit Health Department Construction Grant. Laura, did you want to speak to it at all? You sure can if you'd like to.
I don't need to if you wanna just, I'll come up.
All right. So this fits within our budget authority that we currently have. There has been a feel, I would say, on Four Corners Department to try to get this going quicker than maybe what we were set up to do in our budget. That's a good way to say it, I think. And so this fits our budget authority, but then there's more out there.
So I wanna, if it's all right, I'll just maybe explain a little bit. We've been having a lot of our federal funds pulled, clawed back. We've, and as well as we're taking some state cuts. So we're hyper aware at the moment of what might be at risk. So within the budget for York County right now, we still have a draw. And this has become a little more complicated as we have been granted additional CDBG funds and the deadline has been extended. However, we're somewhat just uncertainty has been the rule of the day for us at the moment. And we were trying to decide if we needed to try to do a drawdown for everything quicker, just so we're not at risk of losing funds due to a clawback. I did have a heart-to-heart discussion though with Tom Bliss at Send and Tom Stevens just in the last day or two about this, and the decision that they're recommending right now is to go ahead with this drawdown that fits within the York County budget right now, and that as soon as July 1 hits, that we try to do the final drawdown for the remainder of the funds. They're feeling like that would be the best course of action at this moment. I guess that May 18th is some kind of a special deadline for DED. They want to get their year end wrapped up, so we need to try to get this drawdown in place and drawn down by May 18th. So there is some urgency with this drawdown.
With this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we'll worry about the $375,000 drawdown on July 1st.
Okay. If you're happy with that plan, I mean, I prefer it that way versus
know.
the other way we
I
were
know,
talking.
and I think we've had a couple rough weeks, and we were thinking what else is at risk right now.
Sure.
So this is, they're not guaranteeing 100% that money won't be clawed back because they don't know the future.
Sure.
There's not a good always forecasting on this, but we're hopeful that if the worst happens, we'll deal with it when it happens, and then we'll.
We'll be fine.
Okay.
So to remind everybody, this is money that Four Corners already spent. This is a reimbursement. And so the process here will be, if the board approves this, then we'll get some paperwork from Send, and then Mary and myself will sign off on it, send it back to Send, where then they get us the money, and then there'll be a vendor claim come through us at the next meeting. And that's, at that point in time, is when they'll get their, part of their reimbursement, so.
Thank you.
Any questions of Laura while she's sitting up here?
Yeah, no, I think that's fine to do this one, and I'm glad that you've had those discussions and that it seems like the rest of it will come in the next
Yeah, we're,
first part of the next budget
I would
year, I
say
think
say a
we can.
little, please say a little
Yep.
prayer for us. Because I've worn a path in my carpet pacing about
Sure.
this. Poor Randy has listened to me lament a little bit, so.
Okay. If there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion.
Move to approve the CDBG drawdown for Four Corners Health construction grant.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion?
Is it CBDG or CDBG? I've seen it in a bunch of
CDBG,
different things.
CDBG.
Okay.
Laura, what's it stand for?
I think it was
Community,
block-
Community
block
Development
grant.
Block Grant.
Yeah.
Is it right on the invoice?
It's wrong on the invoice, but.
Okay,
Yeah, one of the spots is different than the rest.
sorry,
That's all right.
typo.
That's when she was pacing under.
And with a lack of sleep as well.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Gross.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. We'll get through it.
Mhm.
We got a few minutes before gravel bids, so committees. Anybody got anything?
No?
Leroy passes.
I have.
I had none.
Joe?
I had a Blue Valley meeting
Mineral officers after.
in Seward this time, right across from ice cream shop there,
There
so
you go.
got out before it closed even, so, but, approved some scholarships for some high school kids, none from York, County, which most likely means that people weren't eligible, which is actually a good thing in this case. And then mostly just kind of, not a lot of stuff happened. I guess they're talking about the future, about looking forward with the uncertainty we were just hearing about, and basically just talking about putting together a plan for like if they lose different parts of funding that they're just not sure about, and what sorts of things they would have to cut in that case, and just looking at basically doing more with less. So I think it's good they're looking ahead pretty good. But yeah, there likely will be some changes to funding, but I think that's mostly it.
Okay, Joe? Ed?
Had some conversations with Daniel and Harv about the open weed position we have right now. Discussions went about changing how that position looks, having that position actually report to Harvey. And when it's not needed in the winter times or windy or whatever, that person can also work for the roads department as well. Had a couple inquiries about it this week. I think next meeting, probably need to put it on the agenda to approve hiring of a new weed superintendent to work for Harv. So I guess how I'm planning to present that going forward, so.
All right.
Anything else?
No, I've been in the planner,
Okay.
been on the phone, so.
Right.
Daniel?
Had a meeting with the sheriff's department, to go over some things. Some of that might come forward later, but it was a good, productive meeting. Yeah, it's kind of quiet, other than the phone.
Okay. Visited with NERMA a little bit about our safety, and I'll visit with you. I think you did talk with them a little bit about what we need to do on the when our safety group meets. We do have some paperwork here for the city TIF. They always send us some stuff, so I do have some paperwork about some TIF projects if somebody wants to see it. We had discussions with Laura at the time about possibly amending the budget, so it was good to hear that they come up with a new plan to do it without us having to amend the budget to make it fit. Finalizing the budget over the next 2 months and seeing what's going on with everybody's. There's a couple of them that are in, well, one for sure that's in jeopardy. we're just gonna have to deal with it. And then everybody else's is looking like it's just gonna kinda come in on some and others are gonna be fine. Today on the floor, LB 468 hit the floor, I think last night actually, and that's the inheritance bill from Senator Clements. And so if anybody is so moved, Senator Hughes hear from us today while that is being debated. NACO stands on LB 468, and then there's an amendment to it is to support that amendment. If it goes to Senator Bostars, then we oppose it. So, and I think, did anybody get that information from John Cannon? That information is out there. So like I say, Senator Hughes is who we need to talk to. I visited with her just a little bit yesterday. I was going to talk about Nate's zoning meeting, which is coming up, and that stuff will be coming in front of us at the next meeting. And then, of course, we have the May 8th budget meeting here in town that NACO is giving us, and then the ones in June also. So, and then we'll have the May 8th one actually hit the department head meeting. So we'll have to move that department head meeting and have that budget department head meeting at a different time. Okay, at this time, we're just a couple minutes after 9 o'clock, and this is gravel bid time of year. So we will discuss and act on gravel bids as they came in. The dates for advertising for the gravel bids was April 11th, 18th, and 25. So Harv made out a spreadsheet for everybody if you so wish to open those up. Looks like we got 3, 4, 5, 6 sealed bids in. You haven't opened them.
Do you want me to open it as they came in?
It doesn't matter. I don't see where it matters.
Okay. Because this one was the first one.
Melanie is just
She's so excited.
jacked up here. It's from Grand Island, so don't have a name on the outside. Hooker Brothers, Sand and Gravel. Looks like they got a couple things bid here. FOB Pit Mud Rock at $11, and at top it says per ton, so I assume that's it. FOB Pit Sand is $4.50. Road gravel for the period of year 25-26, FOB Pit $15. And I assume that's by the ton also. Is that slow enough for you, Harv?
Yes, thank you.
That works.
I don't write very fast.
Sealed it up.
They did.
Overland Sand and Gravel. Oh, you did get it. FOB Pit is, for the road gravel, is $17.25. And pit location is 1576 L Road, Central City, Nebraska. Silver Creek Pit, 3 miles east. So they bid one thing, the gravel for $17.25. Are you keeping up? You doing okay? Dale R. Johnson Enterprise, Columbus, Nebraska. Okay, we got Mud Rock, FOB Pit Mud Rock, $28 per ton. FOB pit sand, $5 per ton. And FOB pit Crans Dale Pit, south of Columbus, on Highway 81, south of the Platte River Bridge, $15.50 a ton for the road gravel. And Johnson Sand and Gravel in Columbus. This is for the mud rock, FOB pit mud rock, $19 a ton. And it says when available. FOB pit sand, $1 a ton. Road gravel is $15.50 a ton, FOB pit, when available. North on U Road from Shelby, 9.5 miles. Gonna start using a bunch of sand on the road, are we, Harv?
No, but we use that with the salt in the winter.
Right. Buell Trucking, Eagle, Nebraska. Okay, this is a bid for 1-inch crusher run limestone, will be $26.50 per ton, and the haul will be $9.50 per ton, for a total of $36 per ton, delivered to York County Roads, York, Nebraska, January 1, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. That is Buell Trucking. And this one was gravel products,
Southwest.
Southwest. Okay. Axtell. They got a few of them. Okay. So, in the townships, we're gonna start with Brown. It's $22.90 a ton. Baker, $23.10 a ton. Henderson, $22.25 a ton. Hayes, $23.55 a ton. McFadden, $26.90 a ton. West Blue, $28.38 a ton. FOB Pit 3A Gravel, $21.99 a ton. FOB Pit Mud Rock, $27 a ton. FOB Pit Armor Coat Aggregate, $21.99 a ton. FOB Pit Sand, $7 a ton. FOB Pit Kilgore Pit, $15.75 a ton, 3 miles southwest of Minden I-80 Truck Interstate exit 270. Plight, okay, so there's extra at the bottom. Price delivered to the York County shop is $22.25 a ton. Delivered to the Bradshaw stockpile, $21 a ton. And delivered to the Henderson stockpile, $20.70 a ton. That's it, Harv. There's really no reason to review this, is there?
I'll just get a copy of the last one so I can write it.
Oh, sorry about
Use
that.
way too fast for me.
Well,
But we have a copy machine, so it'll work out fine.
standard operating procedure is,
I recommend you take them all so we can get gravel whenever we need it.
perfect. And I appreciate the fact that you added Buell in on that to help. It isn't mandatory, but I just think it gives us a better look when it comes to certain things too. So,
Well, at $9.50 a ton, you can't beat the price for delivery.
perfect.
And the $26.50 is what we pay when we go down there. And we can't haul it for $9.50 a ton.
Gentlemen, you heard the highway superintendent's recommendation.
Move to accept all bids for gravel and trucking.
I would second that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Bowman,
Yes.
Groves,
Yes.
Odd,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay. Last thing to do, basically, unless there's anything else on committee reports that we missed. Last thing to do is we have a jail visit to go conduct, and then we'll come back and adjourn, and then we do have board equalization at 9:30. So, anybody have anything else to report? Okay, we will recess so we can go do our jail visit.
Josh even showed up to lead us the way.
Yeah.
What time for dinner or what? Okay. Second on here.
That's the highest one.
Are, do you want to adjourn to the other,
Yeah, we'll have to come back in.
or? Okay. So we will convene as the Board of Equalization. Roll call, please.
Odd,
Here.
Burgess.
Here.
Bowman.
Here.
Overmeyer.
Here.
Groves.
Here. Open meetings law is in the back of the room and outside of our chambers as well as on our website. Proof of publication for this meeting was posted in the newspaper April 24 and on our website April 16. Review and approve the minutes from our April 15th Board of Equalization meeting.
Move for approval.
Second.
Perfect, thank you. Roll call, please.
Overmeyer.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Odd,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Groves.
Yes. And adopt the agenda for our meeting today.
So moved.
And a second, did I hear?
I'll second that.
Perfect, thanks. Roll call, please.
Odd,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes.
Groves.
Yes. All right, public forum, if anyone would like to speak during this meeting, do so at this time. Seeing none, we'll close the public forum and move on with our agenda. So we have a discuss and act on an application for exemption on motor vehicle taxes. This is for Camp Kateri, and it is for a Dodge pickup. It has been marked as recommended for approval by the county treasurer. And there was some question, we did work with that. Seems that this vehicle is used for all the right purposes and meets the qualifications, so.
The trailer does as well.
Let's see. That's right, I apologize, that was the one that was for question, and it was, also, they use it to haul camp stuff around between the church and the camp.
Is the owl muted yet?
It shouldn't be. Are we?
Yeah, it's not on.
It's not on. When?
How do we do it, Danny?
There we go. It should be on now.
Okay, thank you.
So, I would entertain a motion.
Move to approve the exemptions for Camp Kateri under the pickup and trailer.
Second.
Perfect, thanks. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes.
Odd,
Yes.
Groves.
Yes. All right, next on the list is discuss and act on tax list corrections. Good morning.
Good morning. Kurt Goldgren, York County Assessor. We have 5 of them today. The first one, 1025R, that was one where the dwelling should have been removed from that. 1125R was a permissive exemption that didn't get coded correctly in our system. Now has since been. 1225R, that is the value should have been reverted in 2024 to the 2023 value, but it wasn't. And 1325R, that was the same situation there. And then the personal property one, 125P, that is that property sold and should have been retired for the 2024 assessment year.
Good. Any questions for Kurt regarding? Pretty straightforward on them all. Entertain a motion on these or some of these, if there's any that we have question on.
I'll make a motion to correct the tax list from 1025R, 1125R, 1225R, 1325R, and 125P.
Perfect, thanks.
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Burgess.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes.
Odd.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes. All right, that brings us to the end of the Board of Equalization, so thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Kurt.
We will adjourn.
Okay, technically, we need to come back out of recess from the Board of Commissioners. And so we do that at this point in time. Is there any one last comment whatsoever? We are adjourned also.